Hi everyone, my name is Paul Hennigan. I'm the founder and CEO of Roku Agency. We're a specialist lead generation agency based in London and working with businesses in the hospitality, events and wedding sectors all over the world. So some people say to me that meta ads are dead, they just don't work for them. This video is proof that that's absolutely not the case. So I'm going to deep dive into our own account and show you how we're generating leads for our own business. We generated £11,000 worth of new business from a testing campaign for just over £1,200 ad spend. So I'm going to dive into the account so you can see exactly what our setup is and then copy it and implement it in your own business. All right, let's hop in. Okay, so starting with the end in mind. So this is where we're driving the traffic. So this is our homepage and we're driving them to this Work With Us tab here. So this has what's called a DSL, a Dex sales letter or a digital sales letter. And they go through and they flick through this and it's got some of our kind of proof of what we do, how we do it. Then they click here and schedule a call. So we are generating leads, but for us, a lead is a booked call because that's more higher intent. They're more likely to show up and you're less likely to be ghosted. Obviously, that's not an exact science, but we find that that works best for most of our clients. If they're looking to book, like one-on-one meetings, or if they're looking to book kind of sales calls, things like that, then this works perfectly. Obviously, there's different ways to generate leads and it depends on the individual client's requirements. This is just a Calendly embedded link. So if you click through, it has some qualifying questions so we can learn a bit more about the target firstly make sure they're a target client and also learn a little bit more about them so we can audit their site, see what they're doing and how we could potentially help them and work with them going forward. So let's jump into the ads account. So what we do as an agency, we come in, we build a system called the Kaizen framework. So what that is, it's a kind of a holistic ads system using meta ads, which is Facebook and Instagram. And then we also have elements with AI chatbots and also email marketing in there as well, depending on the client need. So the reason we do that is most agencies come in and charge a retainer. We don't, we just charge a set fee to set it up because most businesses aren't actually spending enough to get to warrant having an agency. They just kind of need it all set up properly and then some guidance on how to update their offer and their ads. So that's what we essentially do. We kind of act as an agency building everything, but then a kind of a consultancy so that we're working with them on their offer and helping them create a really, really good holistic campaign with top of funnel traffic, which is targeting cold audiences, moving them down to your kind of lead generation campaign and then retargeting them as well. So this is the campaign that I mentioned. So it's actually off at the moment because we're doing a little bit of work on it and we've kind of duplicated it into something else. But you can see, so for us to get a booked call, so if we go through, you can see this pixel is firing, which is the piece of code that tracks the user and tracks any of the events, which they're called, that we want to happen. So like website schedule is essentially what we optimize for. So this was the winner. So we set it up as a leads campaign. If I go into edit here, so you can see we spent 1,280. So from that, we got 29. It's tracking 29. It was more about 40 clients, calls from that. Of that, we got 3 paid in full clients and about 5 that are very much in the consideration phase and are just talking to their boss, they're talking to their colleagues and are looking to implement it when they can, cash flow wise and things like that. So we're optimizing it for leads. And then when we go into the ad set level, so the campaign level is essentially, you treat Meta like a 4-year-old child. It'll do exactly what you tell it to do. Well, sometimes it won't, but if you tell it to get leads, it'll go and try to find people who get leads. But what we did, so we tested some different audiences, and different areas. So this one was just UK and US. This one is actually T4, which is Ireland and Canada as well. And that's actually 100 leads. And then a lookalike audience is basically where you get a seed audience and then you tell Facebook to go find people with a certain amount of similar attributes, like 99% similar attributes. So we'll just go into one of these. So we're driving people to the website. Our budget is £60 a day for that in the end. It says 7 new appointments. Really, we were getting about 2, and of which 1 was hyper qualified and likely to buy from us. And then as we go down, so we're targeting these countries. keeping the age and gender open. And then this one is in interest and employment. So we're going after hospitality, event coordinators, those type of people. We didn't do anything with placements. We just went to let it do its thing. In the lookalike audience, what we did, it's exactly the same, except with this one, we targeted just the UK and US because we wanted to keep it quite tight with our targeting in the initial period while we tested our offer, because we were changing our offer during the month as well to see what would work for the agency and also for the client, essentially what they would want. And then we created lookalike audiences. So that's where we got one of our lead generators to find the names and the emails, completely public domain. And then we created from that a seed audience and created a lookalike list to go tell them to go find people like that. The rest of it is exactly the same, just letting Facebook do its thing. Now, if we go into the ad levels, so the ads are the same in each one. So we've gone with video view audiences. So in the initial stage, this was by far the winner. As you can see, it did get way more spend. But if we go in, and I'll link this ad in the bottom so you can actually see it, or if you DM, we can send it over, one or the other. But this is an actress that we hired.
You own an event service? Are you tired of relying on competitive social media platforms for leads and bookings?
To camera video recording for us.
I know how overwhelming marketing
And yeah, you can have a look and go through the whole thing. But we worked quite hard on the offer and also on making sure that it's the type of thing that people want to see. So we tested various things. Placements, we kept exactly the same. We just had different ones for stories. Obviously, they're a different kind of aspect ratio then. So it's like that. And then feed is slightly different, where they're square. So we had to kind of edit that. Otherwise, it gets cut out. And then Poppy, our copywriter, created some quite compelling copy that, converted really, really well. That's essentially what we did. And this, I'm showing you the lead generation ad, but there's different kind of elements to this as well. With the Kaizen framework, when we build this, first thing we do is start to build what's called top of funnel traffic, cold traffic. And then we use one of the ads from one of our actresses, Julia, to start to build these audiences out, which meant that we had a seed retargeting audience. So they were already a little bit aware of what we were doing. And from there, they were able to be a bit more aware, and that reduced the cost of them booking a call and increased the quality. So so that's what we do as an agency. If you're interested in finding out more, feel free to drop us a DM. If you want to give us a follow, we'd love to have a chat on socials.